This week you face a team that this is their bread and butter. It's counters, powers, and it still is, even with Bill Snyder retired.
Yeah, so there's two things. First is that we played it differently technique-wise in the second half than we did in the first half. And so we predicted inaccurately how we could effectively stop the counter. We figured out it wasn't working like everybody else, and we changed the technique and the way we were defending it for the second half. Kansas State is a big pole team. They like to block down and pole, powers, counters, a lot of things with quarterback read zone. So in my opinion, they don't run a play that is just a run. It's got a quarterback read on it as well. Different kind of counter, a little bit, some different sets and stuff, but overall kind of the same concept.
And a lot of times with RPOs attached.
Yes, yeah, and this last guys, they were doing all RPOs attached also.
Mike, what's the challenge not knowing what their quarterback situation is? They played 3 different guys last week.
Martinez will play. I called up there today, and they said he's going to play. The big joke around the office is I've done this for so long, I can generally predict injuries pretty well, our guys and the other teams, and from what I saw, it looked like to me that he'll play. Looked like he had something, felt pretty good, went out, tried to play, didn't really feel right, took himself out, 6 days, rest. I'd say he'd be the starter.
All right, how about a health report?
But to answer your question, to be fair, we have to prepare for him.
You got a good health report similar to that on your own players?
I don't even ask anymore. I just mentioned, I said, you guys let me know when we have less than 5 linemen. And then we have to start making some real adjustments.
You've obviously been a part of developing what's gone on here, but even going back to your playing days when you were coaching as a coordinator and Bill Snyder took over K-State, what they've become. When somebody says Kansas State to you, what do you think of?
Well, you think of Coach Snyder when they talk about it. But it's the discipline and the simplicity and the toughness and play hard that he created that has carried them through. You see a lot of it on their teams now that he was able to create. And, you can go back to – I used to go to watch Coach Sutton in practice in basketball, and he coached this defense – and he coached these certain things, and then they were really good at it, and they held him accountable for that, and that's what they did. It's all the same. It's full circle.
See, Mike, so far from Kansas State's defensive line?
They're good players. They're they're tough and gritty. They're a 3-down team basically. Their inside guys are going to be flat back, try to push you back. They have good edge guys that are pretty active on the outside, and I think they're well coached. I studied them quite a bit yesterday and pulled up just out of curiosity, I pulled up the defense coordinator just to kind of do a little research on him. And, he's been with him a long time. He was with him at the other school. Then he came down and he flipped from a 4 to a 3-down, which is not an easy transition. He's done a good job with it. And those edge guys will get some push. They'll get around the corner. 91, I think, is the one guy's number. He's got really good hands. And he gets the tackle's hands off, dips his shoulder, and gets around the corner. So we have to work hard to not let them get pressure in a 3-man rush. It becomes a numbers game real quick. So hopefully we can protect a little bit if they're going to be in a lot of 3-down front.
You played at K-State back when there wasn't much atmosphere. It was sort of dreary place. Now you go up there and it's like here, just everybody's cuckoo.
Yeah.
How have you ever reflected on? You've often reflected on how much you guys have built.
Right.
A great game day atmosphere. How about in Manhattan? What they?
Yeah, they're the Stillwater, what you saw the other night, and then Manhattan, and then Iowa State, and it's full. The crowd, they do a good job with their students. It's the atmosphere and. It's a great college environment. And, back then I'm sure you remember covering games out there. They had the old turf field and then the painted Wildcat in the middle that was like, would rip your skin off. And it stayed that way for all 4 of my years. And it was just, gosh, I don't know, there was nobody at those games. They've made as big a transition in college football as anybody, in my opinion, from where it was back in probably up, through the mid-'90s. It was still that way. Because Coach Snyder came in '89, So I don't think they got going up there till probably at least 93 or 4 or 5 before anybody started showing up probably. But that transition's been big. It's been great for our conference, let's put it that way.
Did you get upset with the band there once for playing too long?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I need to check on that. Yeah, we're going down that way. The band's sitting there on the field, and we can't hear the band. The rule is when the quarterback addresses the formation, that you have to stop. And the band kept playing, and we jumped off sides. So I need to make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, I forgot about that.
Did that happen at Baylor this year too?
Kind of. I was heading that direction. Did you see me going down there? Yeah. We were on the inside the 5 and they were playing and we were addressing the ball. And those are costly penalties because, it's first and goal on the 4 is a lot different than first and goal on the 9 from a play calling standpoint. So, but they stopped. For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.